So hey guys, in our last video we got the image upload all working here, and just for example, let me make sure I'm recording because I actually just recorded another video and missed part of it. Okay, so we're good. And so we got the image upload into Turbo, and then we get the callback, and we post that straight to our new image model, and we relate that to our apartments. So if we go back here, we click through. Our image comes through. And the last thing we were working on was the light box, which wasn't working. And what we were missing was the CSS. So you just need to go to your head mustache template and just paste in your CSS here, and you should be good to go with that. And let me just save the other one before I forget. Okay, so we got that done. This whole thing is like an edit screen, right? And the UI is starting to get pretty decent, and you guys can kind of just style it on your own. I don't want to spend too long on that stuff. But the thing we're missing is anyone could go to this page. So we need to have some idea of like who's logged in and who's not. And excuse me. With Turbo has a data store, which we know, and it also has a user model in that data store. And if you go to the docs here, we can make users and we can log them in and out. And it handles all the like the cookies and everything, and makes it much easier for us. So let's create a user first. Log in. Okay, what I'm going to do is we're going to make like a login, and I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think for the client. Like they probably don't want anyone to just sign up. They probably want like their tenants to sign up, I guess. You know, if like a management port, and then maybe some managers. So they probably want it like kind of whitelisted. So what I think I'm going to do is making a form that lets you create users. And what we're going to do is once we use we're going to use the form to create like the main admin user, like an admin account, and then they can use that form to create tenants, and then we're going to block that form to login only. So because this is like it's not like a site where that random people are going to come log in and sign up. So we're going to make a login function, like a login form, and we're going to make this form on the back end for them to create users, but we're not going to make like a sign up form, if that makes sense. So first, I'm just like to make it as easy as possible. I'm just going to go to where do I want this form? Maybe I'll make a page just called like admin or something, and one called login. So we'll do a lot of copying, pasting type stuff here to move along quickly. So we're going to do not partials. So I'm going to make a page called login.mustache. The other one's going to be called admin.mustache. And let's make the login one first because it's super easy, although it's a little counterintuitive. Let me close this. Okay, so first we need to make our routes. So go to your index, which we've been using, and let's make a page called login. And now Now, admin's going to be a little trickier because it's going to say if they're not authenticated, send them back to the login page or home. Okay. So let's just this one we're not gonna worry about yet. So login res.render login seems simple enough. Let's go back to our form elements because the one we were using before actually, I believe, was already said name, email, etc. We could just use that and just make this as fast as possible for you guys. Form elements, name, here, name and email, I think. Oh, perfect. It's like, yeah, this button is nice. We should have used. We should get the class off that. Just gonna grab this whole form. All right, and let's go to our login.mustache. I gotta refresh this. Okay, here we go. So what I'm gonna do is, well, first I'll just paste this form next to when I use it, and then let's go to the index.mustache. Copy all this just because we want all these head tags and stuff. And let's just paste that down here. Div class container. Get rid of all the stuff about buildings. This header stuff, get rid of. Leave the nav, main container. Let's get rid of everything in this main. Yeah. I'm gonna leave this section class text editor for now. See what that looks like. Section container row. Let's just paste this form stuff in here and see what we're left with. Okay. Oh, there's the partial name. I don't know why I mistyped that there. Okay. So let's go to login. Already got it. Login.mustache. So something is not quite right here. Cannot read property ID of undefined. Okay, so we made a mistake here of our root here, building slug. it's this route is hitting first, so it's trying to do all that logic to pull up the building. So what we need to do is just move these static routes before the variable one. So There you go. So now we have a login page, and then let's just go back to our nav bar. Did we already give a login link? I can't see with my head in the way. Kind of. Let's make one of those a login link on the top nav, and it's gonna turn to log out when we're logged in. Availabilities, home, about, contact. I should call it account. That's better. Maybe we'll have more account stuff later. And it's going to be a link to href equals login list item. Okay. Now we go back home. Alright, so we got our login link working. And again, this is one of the good things at using partials. We're resharing this nav between all our screens. So we just saved a bunch of time. Let's make this lowercase. And we have here just a basic form. And remember, I don't really know what's going on with these labels. Maybe form.mustache. We're going to get rid of this row. Just have it in the container. Row, div, form, div. Sections. Get rid of this text center, container, section, div. I'm just getting rid of all these extra. I left all these like classes to start with just to see how it looked, but they were not really doing much to help us. So this is fine for now. I mean, we're going to get rid of all this except for a name and email address. And we'll keep our submit button here. So let's do form. Get rid of this thing here. I don't know if that's maybe for like one of those captcha things or something, but yeah, okay. So name, email, and a password. Oh no, we're not registering. We're not even name. We just need email, password. I keep forgetting we're not registering. And get rid of everything else here. And email type equals password. And let's just check on Turbo what the exact requirements are. So basically, if you were setting up your own login and registration, there's a lot of extra requirements with hashing a password and doing all that stuff. So this is all handled for us. We just need to see what they need. Email. Email password. Okay. That's much cleaner. I'm going to make these col 8 just so they go to a new row. I'm hoping they center, but I don't think they will. That's something to do later, center these. Yeah, could you try Flexbox real quick? Next, make empty div. Call SM2. So I should see if these empty divs give us like a little spacing. Why not? No. Unless I put these in a row. Small 2 equals. I don't think this worked right, but this should be here. Form and form. Alright, this autocomplete thing is driving me mad. No. Alright, I'm sure it's somehow messed up. Alright, let's just ignore trying to center this. Focus on the easy stuff. Alright, so we have our email address, password, our button. I'm going to go back and just see what the class was on their button, because I thought it looked pretty good. And the ones we used in the other one, we didn't have that, and they obviously didn't look as good. So let's check out their button. Button. You know what? This is driving me crazy. I'll do the same thing I did before and just throw some margin on the whole page. Okay, so here we have our email, password, and again, we have to submit the form somewhere, and I'm assuming it's a get. No, probably a post. Let's check the docs. So they pretty much have a good one written out right here, and basically, look, you just call turbo.login with the credentials. So let's set this up real quick. Type email name, email, type submit, password, placeholder, let's call that password. And we need to give the form a method, which is going to be post. I always forget if it's capital or not. Yeah. And an action, which is going to be /login. And then we go back here. We're going to make a router.post login. So what we're going to want to do is redirect them to the, if we don't have like an account page or anything set up, just send them to the home page, but we're going to put in something to, like a cookie or something. So turbo.login, we're just going to pass in the entire rec.body. And data, console.log, data. Okay, so this should, let's just catch our error. Okay, and now the one thing is, like we were talking about, we don't have any rec.body term. Yeah, so this is what we need to do. We need to set the session. So basically, it's going to play some type of cookie or session that we can use to get current user. Rec.vertex session user. Very nice. And now we need to create the user so we can log in. So what I'm going to do is, to save time, oh no, we already said that we need to make an admin form. So let's just go back to our login form. Index, admin. Okay, let's just grab this. Let's grab this whole page, to be honest. And I'm thinking the admin page is going to have like additional actions, like let's say a user wants to create, like the admin wants to create, I don't know, admin type stuff, repair tickets, or say late rent is late. I'm not exactly entirely sure, but one of the things they're going to want to do is be able to create users so they can have whitelisted users. Not everyone can sign up. So I'm just going to take this whole thing here, and then I'm going to just put in a quick header. And let me make sure that we can actually render this. Okay, that should work. Here's our admin portal. And okay, let's give some more attributes. Okay, so we're going to need a name, first name, last name, password, and maybe this would be like an extra thing you could do, because we've already gone over it like 4 times. Like something like this would be something where you could maybe fetch all the apartments or something, and you have a drop down so the admin could like tie them to an apartment or something like that. So for now, just do first name, last name, password. We delete the email one. Email. And just make all these text inputs and fix the attributes here. First name, last name, email, password. Okay. Button, create user. All right, so first let's fix these placeholders. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we want to make our own user as an admin so we can start locking this down. So this is my name, by the way. So, we'll fill this out, send it off, and if we check the Turbo docs, how do we create a user? I assume, yep, pretty easy, create user. So let's just do that right now. Go back to our index, and I'll have it right by the admin. So it's going to be router.post to create user. I'm just going to post to the users page. I think that'll be better, appropriately named. Then we're going to, so we just checked in, it was turbo.create user. And I think we just pass in all of those params. Yeah, let's just pass the whole thing in. Direct.body, then now I'm assuming that in the docs they have this signing them in, but that's not what we're going to do. Remember, because we're doing this from the perspective of an admin. So let's check. Oh, they don't have it. It's not like if you were doing a regular website, like on your registration route, you would probably have you would set the cookie on login and sign up, but we don't want to do that here, and they don't have it in the docs, so we're good. So that router.post to user. Okay, let's just check the make sure we're posting to the right spot in our admin panel form. No, so change that post to user, and let's give it a try. Refresh the page. We didn't even handle the return or anything, but let's just go to our Turbo data store. And see if we have anyone in there. Apps. Alright, so we just made our first user here. So that's all working. And now what we want to do is, okay, let's go to, what we want to do now is test our login. But in order to test the login, we need to, like, I'm already logging the stuff down here, so we'll see if we log in successfully or not. The one thing I just noticed we got hung up here. We just want to handle that so we don't get stuck here. Partials. So I'm going to just redirect to the user page because pretend they have a list of all their users or something. That should be fine. If there's an error, I'm going to redirect them to the error page, which we still haven't made, but that's pretty self-explanatory, the error page. So if you guys have time, make just a regular mustache error page, and you could pass in like the error.message as a parameter here in the mustache file and just pull that out. So, or it would be res.render error, but you get what I mean. All right, so let's try to log in now. Okay, so here's my account. So I'm going to watch in the console here just to see. I'm first going to do the wrong password. And let's check our console down here. Cannot read ID of undefined. So there's a chance that we're hitting our wrong route again. Slug. I think what's happening is that there's an error there, and it was redirecting us to the error page, which there is none, so it hits that building.slug page. But let's successfully log in now. So this is supposed to be a success. And post to login. Where's that? So we're not off to a good start here. Okay, so we hit our route, fine. And I think rec.body, login. Let's just log our rec.body, see what params we're sending across. Yes, we're getting that error. It's trying to redirect us to, you know what, maybe I'm just putting in my wrong password. Yeah, okay. I just was putting in the wrong password. But the point is that that's actually a good error. So we're redirecting to this error thing, which doesn't exist. So it goes down the list. It says admin, user, and then it matches this building slug. This is just a variable ID. So what you really need to do is make a error page here, and just basically render an error. For now, I'm just going to bring us home. So I'm going to do a wrong login here, see if it takes us home. Alright, so that's working now. So we solved that problem. And a successful login, we're still not doing anything. So what we want to do is we need certain users to have an admin account, like a attribute, so that we can lock down the other stuff. So I'm going to call, I should have had it when we're going to create another user before I close that form, and there's going to be a another, like a drop down that's going to be admin or tenant. So I'm just going to pull from a theme real quick, a nice like select box, if they have one. Oh yeah, they got select box, input select. Let's just throw this into our admin form real quick. class. So this is going to be, this option selected blank is the default selected option. Default selected options. I'm going to have it set by default to actually no, I'm not even going to we just need really simple here. Value tenant, T-E-N-A-N-T, and value admin. Alright, so we have this little drop down here. It's escaping. Let's give it a column medium 12 as well. It doesn't escape the confines here. It lines up the rest of them. And probably give it a label. Account type. Okay. I don't know what that is doing over there, but yeah, some of these icons all messed up. This one too. Okay. Tenant admin and select. Okay. So this should get passed through now. So let's make an admin account quick. I'll make note to remember my password this time. It's going to be admin, and we'll pretend the other one is a. Basically, I'm going to say if admin like allow this page. So the other one just doesn't have anything, so it's by default going to be treated the same as a tenant. So that should work fine. So I just created that successfully. Okay. Now, if you go to the Turbo docs again, there's a method. Let's just check our data store quick, make sure we're in here. Okay, so we got our two guys right here. And if you look at the second one, I don't think our admin thing got passed through actually, so hold on. So let's check our logs here. Okay, so down here, if you look, we don't pass through. So I made a mistake on that form. So let's see, value equals tenant. So label option value. We got to give it a name. So this is going to be our key. Call called account type. Like all the other fields have names to match our turbo attributes. So let's try this again. I actually don't think it still came through. Div class select value type. Yeah, so we didn't get our proper attribute there. And if you look here, it's not coming through our form. So something's wrong with this select box. Name, value. Probably something stupid. Option value, drop down, select inputs, type. Selected equals. So, oh, I probably need this. Which was in their original example. Jump back there quick. I don't know. I don't want to waste any more time on this, so let's just do a boring text input real quick. To finish this out. Type text. Name is going to be account type. Actually, I'll make the default value here 10th, so let's check. Okay, so now we got that account type admin. That's what we wanted. Although it's not creating on our back end. Oh, there we go. So let's go back to our dashboard. And see now we have this account type admin attribute. So let's go back to our turbo docs, and that's not turbo. And under user management, there's a current user. So we can check the current user on our each time we render one of these pages. So check the current user. So that vertex session that we set before, we can check for our user. So what we want to do is, just as an example, on the login, if we're a admin, redirect them to that admin page, just kind of as like a good start. So I'm going to take all this here. User rec.vertex session. Okay, this is all just basic turbo fetch user. Alright, so we're going to grab all this here from the docs. It's just standard like Node Express login. And let's go back to our trying to think if I can extract this to like a common route, because we're going to need to check a bunch of pages. Let's try that actually. Index. So I'm going to define a function up here. And in this function, we're going to just kind of start with everything we had down there, because the docs check each use case. So first of all, we got to give it our own function name. I'm going to call it const admin access. It's going to take in a request object, and it's going to return, we're going to return a promise. And I'm going to take all this stuff and I think that's old, yeah. Put all this stuff back in here. So we just literally want like a true or false back. Is can they access this page based on their the authentication from the server. So hope I didn't mess up my parentheses. Nope, appears to be good. Okay, so if there's no session right here, like when they're doing like actual JSON response, they're rendering null. We're just going to return false, or resolve false, sorry. Resolve false. Else, user key in session not defined means they're not logged in. Okay, same thing. Just going to resolve false. And then turbo fetch user. So if it's a success, we only want to resolve true if their account type is actually hold on, I messed up my spacing and data. Only if their account type is admin. So we're going to do resolve data.account type, and I accidentally the one I created, like that I'm going to check for, is all, it has a one uppercase letter, so just be aware. I'm going to resolve that. And so that's going to be false. So if we get their ID and they don't have access, then it'll return false too. So that's going to return true or false. And then if we have an error, we're just going to resolve false. Okay. So that hopefully that works. So let's go to admin, and I'm going to say admin access the request, then response, and if, or I'll call this access. If access res.render admin, else we're going to redirect them home. And if there's an error, we're also going to send them home or to the error page, doesn't matter. Actually, we're just going to send them home because this is something going on in the background. We don't really want them to know about. Alright, so let's give this a try. So I think this was the one with admin access. So I'll log in. And again, I don't even know if we logged in because I gave. Oh, perfect. So that worked. Now let's try to. I haven't made a logout function yet. Let's log into someone else real quick. Then we'll make a logout. Actually, let's make a logout function right now. Let's just throw it on the nav. Class login. No, I don't want to start going there because this should be like we can do some of the conditional rendering of the stuff. I'm just gonna log into someone else real quick. So and let's try the admin root. And we're denied, sent back home. So that works. So well, I think I'll do in the next video. The last thing I want to do is kind of just go over the conditional rendering of the pages. So we want to have the same page or same routes and just render different templates. And we're going to use that custom method that we just made and kind of keep reusing that. So for example, like I'll go over one example now. But so one of the things is we'll change the login button to logout, stuff like that. But for example, on the building, this main buildings page that we've been working on, oh, I commented out this before when I was doing something. So on this main building page where we can edit everything, and I want to fix those, but what we can do is if admin, for example, so let's go to this page here, and where did we render? Right here where we render building. Let's instead just render a different, we can do a whole different template, or we can do whatever we want. We have a lot of like flexibility now. So yeah, let's just try that quick. So I'm going to use that same function, admin access, right? See if we're admin or not. Losing my routes. Oh, you know what? This is a promise. Or res.render building. If access, then we're going to render this. Else, we are going to render and we'll pass in that same building object. And we should catch our error. And if there's an error, we're just going to also send them to the regular, like the advertising page, we'll call this one. All right, so let's just make a quick partial. Partials, I'll call this building. This is more like a view for like the general public. Oops, meant to put this in pages, not partials. And let's just to start, let's just copy the other page, the whole thing. And say apartments. And then here where they render these apartments, that's probably what we're gonna want to change. So again, you can maybe abstract some of the common parts of this into a partial, like for example, building general information, and then like this we want to keep, right? This main stuff. So maybe it should be, I don't know, just thinking out loud. There's a lot we can do, but we definitely don't want this form for them to be posting stuff. I don't want to be looping through those all the apartments. Maybe we want to only loop through the available apartments. Like there's a lot of things we can do here, but name city. I guess the only thing we want is that name city state. Form. And we can hijack this form and make it a email us for interest type thing. Like there's just so much we can do, but let's just see if hello new all right, so let's see if this worked. Have unsaved changes somewhere. Oh, that's the log out button. I don't need that. All right, so right now I'm coming up as unauthed. So just to check if this is working, let's go back to this login route, and I'm going to assign as my auth user. And I'm going to log in, and now hopefully if I click this, I should see the view we were working on. Oh, I think I put in the wrong password. I really should have put error messages on there, but sorry about that. Let's try another. All right, so this is the edit view we did earlier. So we're looking pretty good. I think I'm going to kind of wrap this series up because I don't want it to drag on too long. And I just kind of go over like next steps and what, like, you know, how I'm going to finish this up, and eventually it'll be posted. I just if I keep doing the videos for this, I'll never get it done for the project. So I gotta kind of pick up the pace here. But so now we have the ability to like lock these routes down. So the first thing I would do is like we have all the buildings showing up here. You add some images, that kind of stuff here for these And then for this edit page, just whatever the real fields are that we need, and maybe add some abilities to delete these photos, that kind of stuff. Select one to be the primary, and it's all stuff we've gone over now at this point. Maybe ability to delete a whole apartment, or maybe attach some tenants to the apartments. But all these things are stuff we've just gone over, with relating the buildings to the apartments or the images to the apartments, that kind of stuff. So we have these. They can edit, post stuff. What else do we need? I mean, for the most part, we have like the base outline there. It's just a matter of like finishing up styling this admin thing. And then what I would probably do is, or will do, is I'll open up the incognito window so I can see the non-logged in. I would take this page now, the advertising view, the non-logged in view, and we're gonna use that same data, which is kind of the whole point of this, like this data, but it's not gonna be editable, obviously. Just make like a pretty nice, easy static view, and there's no ability to edit or anything, so it should be pretty easy. And I think that would put us in a pretty good spot. Maybe like some submit forms and stuff. Yeah, I mean, I think we went over, like, considering we started pretty basic, we went through a lot of stuff to go from kind of just cutting up an HTML theme, and I mean, now we're basically rendering a lot of conditional data based on other routes and stuff. So it's pretty neat. If I do one more, it'll be a little later. I'll be kind of like finishing it off and styling it. But I think for now, this is kind of the end of the road here, because we went through over all like the features and everything you need to know to be able to like build it out. Anything extra is just going to be kind of repetitive. Like, for example, if I want to make a form for like a contact us, it's going to post to a route, right? And the route is going to send it to Turbo. Like we did that a bunch of times. Or like the conditional logic is kind of the last like kind of tricky thing. And I'm trying to think if there's really anything else. For example, we could change the nav bar to say log out or log in, depending on who's signed in, like stuff like that. Like it's all like nothing should be undoable at this point. I feel like we're at a pretty good spot. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think this is going to be a pretty good app, and it's a pretty good base. And I kind of want to play around on my own with some of the like this image uploading stuff, see what kind of cool stuff I can do. But yeah, so I think that was fun kind of doing that with you guys. And any questions, let me know. And this is probably my last HTML video, my last web video actually. So I'm going over to be doing all mobile stuff for the most part. So which is what I primarily do anyway. Which is why you could tell I was mixing up some of the like HTML tags for like different React or JSX tags. So that's gonna be the next video is coming out probably next week. So yeah, it's been fun, guys. Any questions, let me know. Give us a review on YouTube if you liked it, and we'll see you soon.